the plastics industry, it was honestly mind-blowing.
Astronomically.
Yeah. Polyurethanes, 40 million tons a year are used, and that's 40 million tons that are then not recycled. And as a percentage, there are approximately, I think, 380 million tons of plastics made every year globally. So it represents sort of nearly 10% of all of the plastics in the world.
Wow.
So if we're able to have an impact on that, then we're doing well.
Yeah, no, definitely. So with going back to carbon capture again, why, the question I have is obviously around cost and things like that, and whilst there's a really important technical aspect to this, a lot of people I think will look at this and go, well, actually surely we should have more trees, or we should just use less plastic. And from my perspective, being more involved in that world of trees and the environment, is, I told you we'd be joined by a peacock at some point, is that actually there's not the space to put a lot of these things. The world has changed significantly from when it was all virgin forest and heavily wooded landscape. There is, don't get me wrong, there's massive opportunity to improve things, but actually there's so many systems that are in conflict now. Look at urban areas, look at agriculture. Unless we can shift massively to more like agroforestry systems, increased tree cover is going to be quite difficult. At a massive scale, at least in a short period of time, that we kind of need to make these changes. So do you have any idea on, again, back to timeframes as well, what's your opinion on this stacking up compared to other systems? And what do you think about it in cost-wise? Do you think it's going to be economically viable? I mean, obviously this is what you're looking at the moment, and it sounds like it is, but how much have you looked into that?
Yeah, so I'll touch on the trees things first. I'm a big advocate for sort of planting trees. Unfortunately, as you've identified, there are so many other pressures on the globe regarding space, population increasing, having land to grow crops on to feed that growing population. So as much as I'd love to see trees replanted everywhere, it's not that easy. And this is why it's really important to have other carbon dioxide utilization methods that we can use. There's plenty of CO2 out there to use up. So it needs to be a really good balance across the board for all the technologies, and obviously the agriculture side as well.
That's it. Well, I think that's a really, really important point. And to be clear, we're not talking about not planting trees. It's just that we need so many solutions, and we have to tackle so many challenges. We have to have as many tools in our belt as we can to be able to do so. And and as diverse a solution we can get, everything we can resolve and tackle is a huge step forward.
Absolutely, and something at the heart of our next 12 months is analysing the full sustainability extent of our technology, which extends beyond carbon dioxide. So we'll be using certain analyses to make sure that ultimately the whole solution we're providing is not only carbon negative, because it would be otherwise a completely pointless business proposition, but ultimately is sustainable. And going back to what you were saying earlier about the sort of the economics side of things, that plays really heavily into that. So we want to make sure that we have a technology that is not only bringing value to the manufacturers that adopt it, and the company as well, so that we're able to continually develop this technology and keep providing solutions, which ultimately is my hope will play a pivotal role in